All right, so today we're going to be talking about Samuel Barber's Adagio for strings. And I don't know if you've heard this piece of music, go ahead and listen to it first if you are so inclined. It is a renowned classical composition by the American composer Samuel Barber. It was originally the second movement of his string quartet, composed in 1936, and Barber later arranged it for string orchestra in 1938, from what I understand, which is the version that has gained widespread popularity. It's a type of song that people have written essays about and that sort of thing. The piece is characterized by its profound emotional depth and haunting melody. And oddly enough, part of it reminds me of Black and Tan Fantasy by Duke Ellington. I think if you were to compare the two pieces of music, you might actually oddly find a similarity between a few moments. And it begins softly and gradually builds in intensity, reaching moments of great emotional power. And if you're into music terminology, you might be able to learn the difference between forte and mezzo forte and stuff like that. Forte means loud, and mezzo forte means medium loud, and then you got the quieter parts. So it's probably a pretty solid piece of music as far as learning music terminology goes. You can learn like the various approaches to composition and how to go from one level of intensity to a level of quietness. It slows tempo and expressive harmonies, or its slow tempo and expressive harmonies evoke a sense of melancholy and introspection, making it a favorite for solemn occasions such as funerals, memorial services, and moments of remembrance. So, I've got a little bit of a list, courtesy of Wikipedia, to give you an idea of various places where this piece of music has occurred. It was broadcast over radio at the announcement of Franklin D. Roosevelt's death back in 1945. It was played at the funeral of Albert Einstein in 1955, performed at the or after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, and it was apparently one of Kennedy's favorite pieces of music, so it was sort of a slam dunk decision, I guess. And it was, of course, conducted by Leonard Bernstein, in memory of Samuel Barber shortly after he died. It was performed at last night of the proms in 2001 at the Royal Albert Hall to honor the victims of the September 11th attacks. And let's see, it was played in honor of the terrorist attacks on Charlie Hebdo, which was another terrorist attack. So basically, if there's a terrorist attack, they're going to probably play this song after it. There was also a Brussels bombing in 2016 where this was played after, and then there was the Orlando nightclub shooting, and this was played, in honor of those victims. And there was a Manchester arena bombing in 2017. That was played at the televised memorial. And let's see, it was also played for the coronavirus victims, and at an event on May 1st, 2020. And it's just one of those things. It's sort of like for somber occasions a lot of the time. Although to me, it's not really the saddest piece of music ever or anything. I think that might be Chopin's Funeral March. I think, in terms of just almost exaggerated sadness, I think the Funeral March kind of wins. But I think this is, a little bit more for, I don't know. It's a less distracting piece of music. than some other ones in a way. It's also appeared in various forms of media, like various films, TV shows, and there have been electronic dance music remixes of it. It's basically got a timeless beauty and a universal emotional resonance that's cemented its status as one of the most uh, endearing and beloved classical compositions of the 20th century. I almost said classical. It's a memorable piece for a lot of people, sort of like the Blue Danube and that sort of thing. I think it vividly captures human feelings about the world, and it's left a lot of people impressed by the power and originality. And I don't think Samuel Barber is exactly a household name for a lot of people, but there's a chance you've heard this piece of music somewhere, even if you're not really into classical music. There's a delicate and mournful and tender mood that it elicits. And frankly, the intro violin section of the piece is pretty decent, even by itself. If you listen to the quick little violin section at the intro. So basically, that's all I have to say about this. You can go ahead and check this out. It's a little bit of a music recommendation. All right. Have a nice day.